What's going on, guys? My name is Eldeniro and welcome to episode 41 of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 15. We're starting this episode off by scouting a future star as I unlock this in the catalogue. A lot of people wanted me to do this a long time ago, and the honest reason why I didn't do it was because I didn't have it unlocked yet and I didn't want to gift it to myself because this is a brand new account. So I don't know, I felt like I would have been cheating if I gifted it to myself. I did it all real, you know. So that's what I did. We got the future star. We got a message saying that a scout is being dispatched, so we're going to find out about that in the future. But we go into our first game of the episode, which is away from home against Northampton in the Capital One Cup second round. And this is another fixture that we shouldn't really be in. We should be in the Capital One Cup in the next round. But because FIFA is FIFA and that's the way this game goes sometimes, we're ending up playing against Northampton. And I have a quick question for you guys at the start of this episode. Hypothetically, if I were to do a second career mode series with an English team, particularly a team that's not in the Premier League, which team do you guys think that I should do? Let me know in the comments section. I'd love to read the comments about that. But we got a penalty here in the 22nd minute against Northampton, and I have a weird story about I once stayed in Northampton for a week with my friend Ty, who it was around this time last year, and it was just like, I don't know, it was really dark, it was winter, it was cold all the time, and it was just like, it just felt so miserable. Like, I'm sure Northampton is probably a lovely place, but I had a terrible time there, and we always talk about it in sort of a negative light. So when I got the opportunity to play against Northampton, I was really looking forward to like smashing a few goals past them and, you know, kind of gloating about it. But we took the lead after 24 minutes thanks to a Berahino penalty. He is actually our top goal scorer this season as far as I know, which is really good for him because he had such a slow start last season. But in the 34th minute, Comans gets brought down inside the box for yet another penalty. Look at that defender, he's such a unit. There's no way that it wasn't a foul. And Ki Sung-yong this time steps up to take the penalty because I thought it'd be a good idea to rotate the penalty kick takers. I remember around the 2002-2003 season in La Liga, Real Sociedad were top of the league for pretty much the entire season, and they lost it on the last day to Real Madrid and ended up not winning the league, but they came second. But I remember they used to rotate their penalty takers all the time, like even in the same games and all, and it really interested me that they never had one designated penalty kick taker. It was always a different player in that season, so that's why I did it pretty much, was to just copy them and try and be like them. But Northampton were finding their way back into the game slowly but surely, and 7 minutes into the second half, O'Toole dispossessed our player in midfield and the ball comes into Tony, who plays it into Dath, I think is how you pronounce his name, and he belts it into the top corner of the net to get a goal back for the hosts in the most unlikely circumstances, and they celebrate like crazy. But they've got like a big uphill challenge ahead of them, you know. I don't know why teams do that in this game. I know I say it all the time as well, but it really does annoy me about this game. But 12 minutes later, they came forward once again as O'Toole plays the ball into Hornby, who came on up front for Northampton. He plays it into Nichols, who forced a save from the goalkeeper, and we ended up getting a goal kick from it. But in the 76th minute, Morris comes forward. He plays it to Horwood on the left-hand side of the pitch, who crosses it into Hornby, who gets up and heads it into the back of the net against our goalkeeper, who's making his debut. It's a guy called Connor Tabb. He's a Republic of Ireland player that we signed when we sent out a scout across Europe, a youth scout, the one that we sent to Ireland last year, so that's where that goalkeeper comes from. So he's not really very good, and he shouldn't have been beaten by that header, I don't think, but neither should the defender have been beaten before it. But we come up to the 86th minute with Bakayogo coming into the box from the left hand side, and his cross finds Comans, who goes for the spectacular, like a scissor kick in midair, but it ended up deflecting off the goalkeeper and going out for a corner, which is so unfortunate because it was literally inches away from giving us the win. But Northampton came forward in the 90th minute with Richards playing it into Collins, and Lee Collins ended up finishing and completing their comeback in the final minute of the game. And for the second time in my life, Northampton has beaten me as a town, as a city, whatever it even is. They've beaten me again, and I was so gutted to have lost the game because I really did want to beat them, but at the same time, I don't mind. It's kind of a blessing in disguise to be out of that tournament now, because it's not going to be lingering there causing fixture congestion and things like that. So it'll be an extra break after some important fixtures, I think, just not having it there. But we go into our next game, which is at Anfield, and it's against Liverpool, and this is a ground where we have a very good record. We won 3-2 there in our first season. We won 3-1 last season. And things were kind of looking good for us when I saw they had Markovic, Assaidi and Barini, just because I'm very shocked that they didn't play Balotelli. They've actually gone and sold Sturridge to Borussia Dortmund, so he's not actually a Liverpool player in this game anymore. But our team was once again like defensively set up with two holding midfielders. It was Gary Gardner and Rohan Ince in there, just because I thought it'd be a nice combination of passing ability and just raw power of Rohan Ince in the middle, being able to outmuscle midfielders and try and get counter attacks going for us in that side of the pitch. But just after the half-hour mark, Scott Sinclair let off a pretty good shot that went just wide of the post. I'd say Mignolet probably would have had it, but 3 minutes later we came forward again with Gardner finding a great pass to the run of Sinclair, who's in ahead of Jordan Henderson, and he manages to finish. And he is such a good player for the big occasions. He always does it against the bigger sides, no matter who he's playing. Like, he scored so many important goals for us against really, really big teams, and he's just such a great player for moments like this. It's not the first time he scored at Anfield for us either. And it's not the first time that Dwight Gale has done it, as he scores inside stoppage time to make it 2-0 to us. And it looked like we were about to complete another just ridiculous victory against a team that, for all intents and purposes, they should be destroying us. But like I say, we just have an amazing record against Liverpool, and Barini's shot in the 45th minute went just wide, and they would have another chance moments later with Matuidi getting in and having a left-footed shot, this time going wide of Schmeichel's post. And we come into the second half with we came on the attack. Gary Gardner's shot from distance ended up hitting off the crossbar, and then I don't know why this was a penalty. I really don't. I've looked over it, obviously because I had to edit it as well, and I just have no idea. Mignolet looks like John Arne Riise there. He does not look like Simon Mignolet. But why this is a penalty, I have no idea at all. It seems incredibly harsh to me. It looks like Gale just fell over. But Dwight Gale himself stepped up to take the penalty, seeing as he'd already got one in this game, and he was our best striker last season, so I thought he could definitely repeat that kind of form, and he does just that, burying it into the back of the net just before the hour mark to put us 3-0 up. And for pretty much every single time we've come to Anfield, we've scored 3 goals, so that's a pretty incredible return, I think, for a team like us. And just on the hour mark, Sinclair's shot went just over. He was a little unfortunate not to score there, I thought. And then just beyond the hour mark, Fabio Barini and Markovic combined on the left hand side to keep the ball in and find Moreno. Then Markovic plays it into Barini, who's in acres of space, but his shot is saved by Kasper Schmeichel. Then we come up to about 3 minutes after that. This was like their third corner in a row, which I didn't show the other ones because they just weren't entertaining. But Skrtel does end up pulling a goal back for the hosts. And I wasn't worried at this point. I didn't really think that they could get back into the game. And it wasn't the first time that they'd gotten in this position against us as well. And we've never had any trouble containing Liverpool. Like, we play very well against them. But into the final 10 minutes of the game, we come with the ball coming to Coutinho, who finds Sacco, who does the backheel to Balotelli, and amazingly the Italian striker's shot went just wide. And 3 minutes later, they got a corner kick, which Assaidi stood over, or not a corner, a free kick. And Assaidi's cross finds Balotelli, who heads it on to Flanagan, who gets into belt it into the top corner with a really nice finish from the fullback as well. And look at them celebrating. Why are you doing this? Grab the ball and go up. But we got a counter attack after, I think it was Zaha's ball found Berahino getting in ahead of Matuidi in the 90th minute. But amazingly, he managed to only hit the post from that, and it could have been the goal that sealed the game. But Liverpool came straight up the other end with Sacco on the ball. His cross found Mario Balotelli, and the big Italian heads it into the back of the net. But unbeknownst to him at the time, the linesman had his flag up, and we survived amazingly. I was furious at the time. I nearly threw my controller across the room, but thankfully the linesman was on our side once again. And teams always do that when they're playing all-out attack. They always play in sort of offside positions, and it's quite easy to defend, in all honesty. But an amazing victory against Liverpool, in all honesty. Hopefully you guys agree with that in what's been a very difficult run of fixtures, which is going to culminate in this game, the last game of the episode, as we welcome Bayern Munich to the King Power Stadium. And this is how we lined up. I went with a 4-3-3. I don't know why. I was expecting to lose the game, and I just think it's really important for me to start trying other formations to see if I can suit all of these new players that I have. But this is how the Bayern team looks, and it's incredible. They've got Thiago, they've got Goetze, Schweinsteiger, Lewandowski, Thomas Muller, Lam and Alaba at fullback, probably the two best fullbacks in the world at the moment. But after just 3 minutes, Thiago's shot was saved by Kasper Schmeichel, and in the 8th minute, Thiago this time turned provider as he crossed it into Lewandowski, who heads it onto Muller, who sees his header go just over. Our main spell of possession came in the 19th minute, and it was on an attack as Ki Sung-yong plays a great ball into Zaha, who turns Philipp Lahm inside out with the Ronaldo chop and just belts it into the back of the net with such a ridiculously accurate shot. Bayern Munich are playing Pepe Reina in goal in the most FIFA decision of all time. They're leaving Neuer on the bench for this one, because when you have the best keeper in the world, you don't want to play him in your team regularly, apparently, I guess. But yeah, we took the lead against Bayern Munich, and I was not expecting this to last because they were playing so well and they were so dominant and very possession based. But Brandt came forward in the 26th minute. Obviously he used to play for Bayer Leverkusen, so he knows a thing about Bayern Munich in this fictional universe, and his shot forced a save from the goalkeeper. Then we come into the second half with Bayern Munich trying to pick up where they left off in terms of attack and play, and Götz's shot had to be saved by Kasper Schmeichel in goal. And then 2 minutes later they came forward with Schweinsteiger playing it to Thiago on the edge of the area. He goes for the shot and it smashes off the post and it's cleared by Robertson. Not very well, but we did eventually get it away. And then just beyond the hour mark, Dwight Gale went down from a challenge from Dante, and sadly for us he never got back up again, and Dwight Gale has picked up an injury, and it's a pretty bad one too, so I don't like that. But we come up to the 85th minute with Brandt coming forward against Badstuber, and he gets round him pretty well. He goes for the Ronaldo chop to get round Lam, but Philipp Lahm had such a bad game and he was so mad about it that he brought Julian Brandt down. It should have been a card in my opinion, but Ki Sung-yong stood over the free kick and he tried to curl it into the top corner. Reina had to punch it away, and the rebound came to Rohan Ince, who amazingly managed to not find the net from, point blank range. But we come into stoppage time and Alaba gets the ball on the edge of the area. His cross finds Schweinsteiger, whose header has to be tipped over well by Kasper Schmeichel, and amazingly we hold on and we beat Bayern Munich. So in the toughest run of fixtures ever in Leicester's history, where we had to play Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Northampton, Manchester City, AC Milan, and Everton before that, the only team to actually beat us, well no, Everton beat us, but before that, the only team to actually beat us was Northampton Town. So that's pretty incredible. We beat Man City, we beat Liverpool, we beat Bayern Munich, we beat AC Milan, but Northampton were the team that we just couldn't beat. But as you saw there, Dwight Gale is out for 2 months, and this is our scout future star. His name is Valère Bryson. He's 15 and he is a right midfielder, and he is going to be a world-class player. That's the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do leave a like. That would be much appreciated. I've been El Dinero. Thanks for watching.